There they march, warm-blooded champions on a better day for man. I'm Keegan, and this is History Hound Presents Glory of the 54th. Those that know me know that the area of history I'm most passionate about is the Civil War, and a few things about the Civil War intrigue me more than the 54th Massachusetts Regiment. When I started this channel, one of the few things I knew was that this story was the first story I wanted to tell. After the Emancipation Proclamation and at the request of Secretary of War Edwin Stanton, Massachusetts Governor John A. Andrew, and assisted by some of the great abolitionists of the time like Frederick Douglass and Major Martin Robinson Delaney, from the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment. Typically, the Civil War units were made up of men in the areas that they were named for, and while a good chunk of the 54th was made by men from Massachusetts, the ranks were also made from brave soldiers from all over the North, former slaves from the South, and even some Canadians. While Governor Andrew believed that black soldiers could lead, he had a lot of pushback. As a result, of all the commissioned officers were white, while the black soldiers could earn up to the rank of lieutenant. Of those white officers, the Harvard-educated son of wealthy abolitionists, Colonel Robert Gould Shaw, was chosen to lead them. Before leading the 54th, he fought as a soldier in the 2nd Massachusetts Infantry in the Battle of Winchester, the Battle of Cedar Mountain, and Antietam, earning the rank of captain before being promoted to colonel in command of the 54th. The regiment grew some renown when they discovered that they would receive $7 a month, $10 minus $3 for uniform, instead of the standard $13 a month, not subject to uniform deductions that white soldiers were paid. This was protested immediately by Shaw. Refusing pay became a point of honor in the regiment. They were known to chant as they marched, "Massachusetts and $7 a month." These men were eventually paid back pay for their sacrifice 18 months later. It literally took an act of Congress. On July 16th, 1863, the Union engaged in the Battle of Grimbal's Landing, where around 250 members of the regiment pushed back a unit of 900 Confederate soldiers, taking 45 casualties and earning the praise of Brigadier General Alfred H. Terry. After this overwhelming victory, the 54th's morale was never higher. On July 18, 1863, Shaw led his men to fight at the Second Battle of Fort Wagner, where they were instructed to lead the attack on this crucial point. The assault was a bloodbath, with more than a significant portion of the 54th falling, including Shaw himself. Despite taking heavy losses, the unit stayed strong, and tales of their bravery and valor emboldened more black soldiers to enlist, which President Abraham Lincoln thought helped secure final victory. Confederate General Hagood saw that Shaw was buried in a mass grave with fallen members of his unit, meant as an insult. The opposite was true. Robert Gould Shaw's father, Frank Shaw, stated, "We would not have his body removed from where it lies, surrounded by his brave and devoted soldiers. We can imagine no holier place in which it lies, among his brave and devoted followers, or wish we're in better company." Shaw was 25 years old. This was not the final battle of the regiment. After Shaw's death, the 54th would be led by Colonel Edward Hallowell, where they would engage in another amazing moment. Shortly after the Battle of Olustee, where they pulled a broken-down train filled with injured Union soldiers 3 miles before reaching some horses which helped them pull an additional 7. The wounded soldiers were in danger of capture and were saved by the brave efforts of the regiment. They would continue to fight valiantly until the Battle of Boykin's Mill, one of the last battles in the Civil War, where the unit only lost 2 men. A monument was constructed by renowned sculptor August Saint-Gaudans in Boston, honoring Shaw in the 54th. It was unveiled on May 31st, 1897, and has remained to this day. The statue is located at the Boston Common and is currently being restored and upgraded to add an augmented reality app to help better guide viewers through the history of the 54th. This is high on my list of must-visit spots. The 54th was recommissioned in November of 2008 as a ceremonial unit of the National Guard. The newly formed unit participated in Barack Obama's inaugural parade and renders military honors at funerals and state functions. Their bravery has also been immortalized in the Academy Award-winning film Glory, starring Matthew Broderick, Carrie Elways, Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, and Audrey Brouwer. And while this is both an amazing and powerful film, and it is, there's one glaring issue that I have with it. While Broderick's portrayal of Colonel Shaw is amazing, and while Denzel Washington earned every ounce of his Academy Award for his portrayal of Private Tripp, sadly, most of the soldiers in the movie, including Tripp, were fictional. The names of the real soldiers left out made for compelling storytelling. While I get to that, I have to say that I feel it is tragedy that these brave soldiers' names are lost. So I ask, what can we do at History Hound? We can do this. This is William H. Carney. He was born a slave in Norfolk, Virginia in 1840. His father escaped through the Underground Railroad and was soon able to purchase the freedom of his wife and son. He planned to become a minister, but when the Union announced they were allowing black soldiers, he quickly signed up and joined the 54th. He quickly rose to the rank of sergeant. Carney followed Shaw's lead at Fort Wagner, and when he saw Shaw and the flag-bearer fall, he ran to the flag and prevented it from touching the ground. He was severely wounded in the arms, legs, and chest, but managed to keep the flag posted until reinforcements came and the unit was able to withdraw. When he made it back to the Union lines, he uttered, "Boys, the old flag never touched the ground." It was his actions at Fort Wagner that earned Carney the Congressional Medal of Freedom. He was the first black soldier to earn this highest honor. When he died in 1903, the flag at the Massachusetts Capitol was flown at half-mast, an honor usually held for deceased politicians. He's not the only name that should be honored. Here's some more. Sergeant Joseph A. Palmer, Private Abraham F. Brown, Private Richard Gomar, Private Charles S. Arnhem, Lieutenant Peter Volsang, and Sergeant Henry F. Stewart. I could go on, but we'll be here for ages as I list the name of those brave men. So I'll just say these names and faces are more can be found at Massachusetts Historical Society website. I'll put a link in the description. These men put their lives and freedom on the line so that others may be free. A lot of black soldiers that were captured in battle, they didn't become POWs. Many of them were just pushed back into slavery or hanged. And the penalty for a white officer captured by the South was imprisonment. It was execution. Not a single man in this regiment was unaware of what they were risking. We talk about soldiers fighting for our freedom and then argue over American soldiers being used as world police who were fighting for oil. Shaw, Carney, and the names I listed knew what they were fighting for. They were fighting for the Union. They were fighting for the soul of America. They were fighting for freedom. And they won. You've been watching History Hounds. I'll see you in history.